Let's say hello now to Matt Mitrione, who is joining us via the magic of Skype. There he is, the one and only Meathead, and joining us via the magic of phone, which I have to admit is a little bit disappointing. I mean, big timing us via the magic of phone. What could Sean McCorkle possibly have on his docket today that is more important than this? Who wants to talk to this guy? Who wants to do anything with this guy? But he is there via the magic of phone. So first, let's say hello to Matt. Matt, you good?
What's up, brother? I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. Sean, you there?
I am. Yeah, I am here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. If you're listening to us on a computer or something, just go with the phone. I hear feedback.
I've actually never listened to your show, Ariel, not on the phone or anything else. But no, I'm actually just on my phone, nowhere near a TV, so I don't know where the feedback's coming. It's probably Matt's fault, I would guess.
Yes. Okay. Well, wow. It's so good. I can't believe he's actually here, Matt. I can't believe we're actually talking to Corky right now.
Hey, like we always say, he's the parasite. He just shows up. I don't know how he does it, but he's always around.
Sean, where are you?
I do want to.
Yes, please.
Well, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. The only reason I couldn't make it today, I had court today because I got a seatbelt ticket, or not seatbelt ticket. I got a ticket for using my deceased grandmother's handicap parking pass.
Stop.
And I was the police officer saw me get out, and he was like, "Is that your parking pass?" And I was like, "Well, not exactly." And kind of tried to explain the story to him. I told him I got a really sore back and this and that. And I tried to get out of it by telling him that if I don't use it, I almost feel like she died for nothing. And he didn't like that, so he went ahead and gave me a ticket. So I took the chance that I would go to court and get out a ticket, and I didn't. So I have to pay it plus court costs.
Wow, how much?
So, I think it was 160, and then another 60 for the double for not paying it originally, so 120.
Wow.
But my actual goal was to use that line again in court, but I didn't get a chance. So.
Just when we thought McCorkle wasn't a big enough scumbag, we find out that he's actually a bigger one.
Yeah. You know what? I tell you, he never ceases to amaze. He never ceases to amaze.
Matt, let me just ask you quickly: are you still friends with McCorkle, or is this the first time you speak to him in years as well?
No. Corky and I are very good buddies. He bounces all of his jokes off of me, so I can make sure if they're PC or not. And if they are, then he rewrites them until they're not PC anymore.
Okay. Yes, of course, because we all remember how this whole Mitrione Minute thing ended, right?
Something tells me that there's a chance that if it wasn't your last show, it might be your last show.
No, please don't. Please don't do that.
It's Listen, yes. so Corky and I were talking about this here.
Yes.
And, I don't understand why, but I only was able to come up with about 6 or 7 jokes.
Okay.
And Corky laced up as soon as we got the notification of this, and he is extremely prepared. So, and like a good storyteller, they kind of all feed off each other. So I'm going to do a minute. And then Corky is going to have his own time to shine on this one. So if you decide to pull the plug on him, at least I got my minute in first.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so let's not waste any time here. Let's go.
Okay, so without any further ado, the last and final episode of the Mitrione Minute. I'm ready.
I'm so nervous.
Let's get after it. Mine aren't really that good, but I'm sure Corky's really going to lace this shit up. Okay, so Dana White has announced he will eliminate early weigh-ins due to a few fighters missing weight. Surprising because he was continually touting the positive effects on fighters' health and their brains all the way up until this moment. I'm not certain if he's doing this to get fighters to publicly beg him, as they have been, or if he's just a pompous, insolent child that's running the UFC. Speaking of early weigh-ins, most fighters love them and can't wait to get them knocked out as soon as possible, or as it's now known, getting king mode.
Oh, man. Damn.
So I have an issue calling another man king of anything, like LeBron James or anybody else, and calling Mo Lawal queen is low-hanging fruit. So, but apparently him losing the Bader the way he did has really humbled him. And he's publicly released a statement claiming that he's no longer going to be known as king, but he wants to continue using that moniker in some fashion. So his new nickname is going to be Fucking Disappointment.
That's ironic.
talking about Mo like this certainly means that I should talk about his heterosexual life partner, Roy Nelson. We had to do a mutual media tour. And one of the things that came out on this media tour was that his wife loves his hair. And that's the reason why he still grows it, which is really ironic. And I find his hair to be a microcosm of his career, which is unsightly, tattered, entirely too long and should be cut short. So this just in, I don't know if you noticed, it is there was something that came out the other day that that Roy is officially the ugliest man in MMA, which is incredible because there is a massive sigh of relief coming from the entire Guida family out of Chicago.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was a rather weak segue into 225, but UFC 225 just happened. It was absolutely spectacular. It was on paper, the card was great. The fights were almost all went to decisions. There was a couple of knockouts. It was exciting. It was an exciting fight and a lot of two belts type of fights. It was really exciting. And the return of Phil Brooks, also known as CM Punk. I've never seen a more bloated hype job on this as far as PR work to get anybody to buy into CM Punk. As a matter of fact, I'm not really sure which one was more bloated, the hype job for the CM Punk fight or Dana White's other chin.
Matt going hard at Dana.
Yeah, jeez.
So finally, AH.
Yes.
I've got a roast here for you, buddy, and I really want to do it.
Okay.
But
whoa,
it
is it really mean?
You know, I'm gonna do this. AH, I'm proud of you, my dude. You've done a great job. You've done a great service to the MMA community. You've opened a lot of doors for a lot of fans and fighters, for that matter. I myself have actually gotten sponsorships from the mouthpiece work I've done with y'all, and I really appreciate the effort, the time, the shine that you've cast on the sport itself, and the work that you've been able to get other people to come in and do. And from the way you started to where you've grown into, it's a hell of a job. I'm proud of you. Also, I'd like to say, just as a side note, I should have done this ahead of time before this because I just wanted to sign off on that. But Rashad Evans, you're a great dude. You're a great friend. And I'm proud of you regardless how that fight went, my dude. I saw the post you made. I liked it on Instagram or whatever else. And I'm proud of you. And actually, I'll tell you this much too. Curtis Blades, you just had him on a second ago. He's a tough-ass dude, a really good fighter. I would have loved to see what happened in that fight if Alistair did not get hurt. If he didn't hurt his knee, I would have loved to see what would have gone on in there. I think that Curtis is a damn good fighter, and I think he's a really solid heavyweight. And I would have loved, if I was still in the UFC, I would have loved the opportunity to fight him or Ngannou. And I think that he's got massive balls talking about how he would like to refight him to get his full 15 minutes in. I'm impressed by that because nobody really seems to want to fight Ngannou. And I think that's a great job. I'm proud of where the heavyweight division is right now. And that's kind of my thoughts. So AH, to finish back on you, I'm proud of you, my dude. Great job. Thanks a lot for giving a shine that you've given all of us. Corky, here's your minute.
Did you have a roast? Did you have some mean things to say about me?
Oh, I've got them for sure. Oh, they're laced up, but I'm choosing not to do them right now.
Why?
I'm choosing not to do them. I might tweet them out later on.
Wow. All right. I appreciate that. I got thick skin now, you know, but if you don't want to do it, are they that bad?
Oh, they're aggressive. They're aggressive.
Really?
I even bounced them off Corky. He's like, wow.
What?
Like 4 of them that I came up with. Yeah.
Can I get one? Can I get one?
We'll see if we can do it on Twitter.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. All right, Sean, the floor is yours.
All right. You might regret it. No. I do want to give you, preface this with saying, I do apologize ahead of time for anybody if my jokes offend them, even though I don't mean that at all. But I know that I'm not for everybody. You know what I mean? My style or whatever is not for everybody. In fact, somebody told me the other day that my sense of humor is so dark that it was probably raised by its grandmother. So, already. So, I never really had. I was watching Colby Covington this week and watching his meteoric rise. I've never really had much respect for guys who talk a bunch of shit and then don't back it up. You know, guys like me, for example. But Colby really did surprise me, man. Colby, I mean, he came, he brought it, man. He was doing great. I was a little disappointed in him, to be honest, that he backed down from smacking Joe Rogan. Like, I thought that kind of showed almost like it's a character he's playing. And besides, like, I don't really know, like, what has kissing Joe Rogan's ass or trying to imitate him ever gotten anybody, you know, in life besides Brendan Schaub, his podcast, or Brendan Schaub, his T-shirt line, or Brendan Schaub, his spot on the McGregor Mayweather fight, or Brendan Schaub, his stand-up comedy career. But other than that, what has kissing Rogan's ass ever gotten anybody? I never understood it, right? And it seems like he's going to have friends in higher places now if he's going to see. You know, Dana said he can make it happen. He can go see Trump and bring the belt to him, since the Eagles and the Warriors have no interest in doing that. You know, but I did see. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening. Don't worry.
Okay. I was going to say I'm used to laughter, but that wouldn't be true. So, I did see Dana on TMZ. He said the only problem he's got, the only concern he has bringing Colby to the White House is he's, you know, afraid that Trump might try to grab him by the Ariel Helwani. So, speaking of which, did you see? I assume you saw Covington and Bisping going at it on Fox. I mean, I don't know, inside the UFC or whatever it is, the post-fight show. Bisping tried to jump in and steal his thunder, which I thought was kind of, you know, classless, which was amazing coming from Bisping. But as I was watching them go back and forth, I thought, man, this must be what John McCain had in mind when he was called UFC human cockfighting. I don't know. Okay, so on to another topic. I was looking at, I was watching, you know, everybody would see CM Punk, how he would do in his fight, you know, like how had he improved or, you know, anything. Everyone kept saying, you got to keep in mind, he's only been training for 3.5 years, which I found that kind of odd. Like 3.5 years, that's like almost enough time to get your bachelor's degree. Like 3.5 years, that was enough time for Matt to finish his freshman year in high school. So I don't know what, like 3.5 years, like that seems like a long time to me, but apparently not. So I was watching him in there, and I couldn't help but think while I was watching it, I was thinking, man, the last time I saw a guy named Michael Jackson lay that many blows on a punk, the next day the police raided Neverland Ranch. So, following through with the CM Punk topic, you know, everybody was talking about, you know, his like I said, man, 3.5 years is a long time. They're like, well, you know, he didn't look bad. He this or that. And I was like, I don't know. The thing that disappointed me the most watching him really was his cardio, which again is ironic coming from me. But I would think with that much time to prepare, a lower weight class guy, like I thought he'd been in better shape, you know. But his cardio looked terrible between rounds. You know, I mean, I think the only fighter who spent more time bent over with his hands on his knees in this past year than CM Punk is War Machine. So anyway, I also had a roast for Ariel. Actually, I was going to do exactly what Matt did. I was going to start to roast you, Ariel, and I was going to tell you that I really didn't have much bad to say about you, man. You, I'll never forget, like, you always were really fair with me, even though I had to immediately chase you down for my first interview that blew you up. And then at UFC 124, I was the co-main event. No one cared about me and Struve, but you asked, for the first time ever, you asked the first question. Well, when you weren't trying to embarrass Nick Diaz and ask him why he missed his flight. But for the first time ever, you asked me asked the first question press conference, you asked it to me, and the whole media, like, turned and looked and couldn't believe you didn't have the question for GSP or Koscheck or the main event guys, you know. But I really appreciated that. So instead, you know, I've often touted my quarter Jewish heritage. So you and I are kind of, you know, kinsmen to a degree. You know, I've always said that I'm between a quarter and 3/8. I'm not sure, being Jewish. So instead, I wanted to tell you a story about my family that, instead of roasting you or whatever, that we could both really appreciate. Like, I was at a restaurant one day, and this lady, we were joking back and forth. This waitress seemed a little like rougher edge, and she made a Holocaust joke, which I thought was kind of inappropriate, you know what I mean, or whatever, like not knowing my ethnicity or whatever. I thought it was kind of rough. And so this actually happened, by the way. She made a Holocaust joke, which I thought was a little much or whatever. And so I told her, I said, that's really funny. My grandfather died at Auschwitz. And she stopped and looked at me. She goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "I am so sorry." And I could tell she immediately felt bad. I said, "It's all right. It was his own fault. He fell out of the guard tower." So it made it awkward for all of us. But I don't know. I really did say that to her. She didn't like it. But yeah, that's the end of the McCorkle Minute, I guess. Left in disappointment like so many before. But no, Ariel, I really do, man. I texted you when I found out about the ESPN deal, man. So happy for you, man. I mean, to really see, me and Mitrione both have seen where you came from and where you went in that short amount of time is absolutely amazing, man. For a guy that, is walking around with terrible Jordans and a suit, just, asking guys for interviews to actually being, having your own show on ESPN is amazing, man. And I'm really sad the MMA Hour is over. Like, I was hoping that somehow transition, still be able to do it as your own podcast, or maybe you could turn it over to me or, something like that. But I don't know.
That would last 1 week. By the way, I just want to correct you. I interviewed you at UFC 119 when you beat Mark Hunt. Remember?
Yes, I had to chase you down for that one. That's what I was saying. You told me you were only there for the main event guys. Yeah, no, you said I'm only here for the main event guys, and I said I'm always the main event, Ariel. If you got a camera, I promise. So, yes, I had to chase you down, and then you made fun of me for wearing my UFC shirt.
I think you're right, Corky.
No, get out of here.
Yeah,
that was the greatest night of your friendship. Both of you with the big wins. Mitrione, you fired Malky that night. Remember?
I did.
Pre-fight, I had to chase you down for the interview.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-fight, I had to chase you. I had to chase you in the hotel, and once I was a superstar, of course you want to talk to me. So
yeah, of course. Pre-fight, no, let's not get crazy. Who are you? I still can't believe you fought in the UFC. Remember your next fight was the co-main event with GSP? That was That was the lowest moment in UFC history when they thought that you, in front of a sold-out crowd at the Bell Center, Sean McCorkle, that place was so disappointed when it was announced that that was the co-main event. And I remember looking around at the crowd. Back then, I used to sit in the stands, thinking like, "Oh my God!" The crowd is thinking like, "This is the second to last fight. There is no way that this could be the second to last fight before GSP." And it was Sean freaking McCorkle who completely shat the bed. Let's just be honest in that fight. I mean,
that was terrible. Yeah, that was. I still blame Yves Levine, but I did well for a minute and a half till I completely gassed out. Yes. I did really well for a minute and a half, but yeah, no, that was the press conference I was talking about where you asked me. I was the co-main event, and I could tell no one could believe it. And you asked me, I'll never forget. You said no one besides Brock Lesnar obviously has ever been the co-main event, their second fight in UFC. You said, "Well, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think it's very well deserved, given my talent and my ability I've shown in the cage." And no one got that it was supposed to be funny. Everyone just stared at me at the entire press conference, like all 40 people, and I was just kind of like, "I think you got it, but no one else did." And I felt so. Even Dana was looking at me like, "What the hell?" Like when I said it, So I was like. I didn't really know what to say. I gave Matt a joke earlier he didn't use, which I thought was amazing. But since he was cracking on Dana, I was going to tell him that he should say that Dana White, is living proof that with enough hard work, determination, and billionaire childhood friends to finance your dreams, you can accomplish anything. So,
on that note, Sean,
I had a joke about.
Yes.
I can't wait to get on Twitter and light a couple of these things up that I just chose not to do today.
Okay, fair enough. I follow you still on Twitter. I don't know if that will change, but I have to say it means a lot. I asked New York Rick in the back. I said, I think I'm going to have a McCorkle Mitrione Minute on the last episode. And he's like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it." And I was like, "No way, man. These guys were there. These guys were there when I couldn't get anyone to come on this show. So I have to be loyal to the guys who were there at the beginning." So it means a lot. It was fun. It was great to reminisce with both of you. Matt, you're doing amazing. You're on the cusp of winning a Bellator title. Sean, you're in court because you're using your deceased grandmother's parking pass. So I feel like you're both in really good places right now in your lives.
It's come full circle. It's come full circle.
Thanks so much for doing this, guys. Love you guys. Thanks so much for doing this. Matt, you're the man. Sean, I'll talk to you in around 5 to 6 or maybe never.
Love you, Ariel. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you. There he is, Sean McCorkle.